Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. We'll wait just one more minute for everyone else to join us and kickstart our workshop today at 9 a.m. Right, so now it's 9 a.m. PST and let's start today's workshop. So thank you everyone for joining me again today. And today's workshop series we'll be covering how to create stories for social sharing and also mobile optimization. And here you can see a timeline of the Issuu Academy. So today is day 2 for article and visual stories. So we'll be covering how to create article and visual stories and of course how to share it out. We'll also be going into a live demo on the Issuu platform as well. And just a little bit of housekeeping, all participants will be muted during the duration of the presentation. If you do have any questions, feel free to hit that little Q&A button on the Zoom frame and type in your question. Please don't input it in the chat as I will not be going through the chat to review any questions that you may have for me. And please note that we are also live streaming this workshop to Facebook and YouTube, and the workshop is being recorded. Okay, so a little bit about stories. So this is a great way for you to highlight the best parts of your content and make the content easily shareable and in a mobile optimized platform. And within Issuu, no matter if you're on our basic plan or on our paid plan, you could create as many stories as you want. And this is a great way for you to create those targeted content pieces for your audience. So in order to get your content featured on Issuu, please make sure to use the hashtag #MyIssueStory and follow at Issuu. And as a little bit of homework for everyone as well, I do recommend that everyone after this workshop, please create this story and use this hashtag just so I could review it later. And so you can see here, this is what the original document would look like in the form of a regular publication, as an embed, or a full screen reader on our platform. And here are all the different ways you can convert it with our system. So you could create it into a GIF, as a mobile optimized article story, or even as a visual story, which has more of the slideshow MP4 feel here. And a little bit of stats for everyone as well. Right now, 60%, more than 60% of the online audience is on a mobile device. So now it's important more than before for you to convert your content into something that is mobile friendly for people to view. Okay, and so here we take a little bit of a deeper dive into article stories. So it is optimized for mobile screens. Of course, you can create as many as you want, and it's a great way for you to use it as a content marketing tool. So essentially, you could take your original document here and then split it into many little pieces where you could, maybe funnel back more interest towards your original document. If you have 100 pages, maybe people aren't interested in reading all 100 pages, but they may be after reading a quick 5-minute read from an article from there. And you can easily share out your article story as a link as well. And something to know about our article stories is that they are indexed. So if you're creating it from a unlisted document, which is more of a private document, anyone will be able to see this article story. So if you are selling your content as well through our digital sales feature, you could always use an article story as a way to provide a teaser or like use it as a marketing tool to drive more interest for your paid document. You can see as well, this particular document has 16 article stories, so you can really piece this out and kind of generate additional marketing assets from your content. And here as well is how it would be displayed on the Issuu platform. So usually we'll show the reader your document and what's inside. So you can see here all the article stories that have been built out from this piece here. Oops. So you can list things such as articles, any interviews that you may have, or just basic products. And all of these article stories will actually be indexed on Google. So you will have some SEO impact there as well, which is a great way to increase any organic traffic to your document alongside your original publication. Okay, and here we move on to visual stories. So visual story, here is a GIF of our visual story. So you can see that it's running through each photo page by page, and it's a great way for you to create an MP4 video that you can share out on your different social media channels. I know personally that it's great to share out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn stories. If you have TikTok as well, you can also share out your visual story from there. If you're not looking to upload an MP4 video, you can easily share this out as an AMP link as well. And a little bit about AMP. So AMP stands for Accelerated Mobile Pages, which is a Google initiative. And so this actually optimizes your visual story for mobile web browsing, and it will actually load faster on a mobile phone. So as you can see, it's a great way for you to tease out your content. And if you are using Instagram and have more than 10,000 followers, you can always assign a click-through action for your viewers to swipe up. And of course, this story is also going to be indexed on Google as well. So here again, of course, please make sure to, after this workshop, create an article, a visual story, and use the hashtag #MyIssueStory. And this just gives you an opportunity to be featured on our social channels. So that will be our Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and blog. And of course, again, all users will have access to these stories features. And for everyone who is joining us for the first time, or who is on our basic plan, or is a new customer with us, and you're interested in what we are offering so far, we do have a special promotion for everyone. We will be offering 50% off the first year for our premium annual plan. Please just go to the sign up page and type in the code Academy50. Again, that's Academy50. And here's everything that is included in our premium plan. And of course, we do also have a post-webinar survey. And this is just to get to know everyone a little bit better, see if this workshop has been helpful for everyone, or to see what other workshop topics that you would like to see covered by Issuu that we aren't currently covering today. So please make sure to stick around and enter in anything that you would like to see in the future. Okay, so let's get started. So Ligra Bay asks, how do I remove my username from the article story? So currently you cannot remove your username from an article story, as we are using, people do use article stories as a way to drive readers back to your content, and also maybe to your profile page as well. So that's not something that can be removed at this time, but I'll certainly forward this request to our product team. Okay. So now we're on the Issuu main page, and you can see on the left-hand panel here, there are two icons, one for article stories and one for visual stories. And there are actually two different ways to enter in and create an article story. So if I press into article story here, you'll see that there is a plus button for you to create a new story from your latest publication. So if I press into here, it'll automatically actually drag any assets that I have from that article story. So all I would need to do is actually go into the pages and click once, and you can see a blue border populating around that. That means that it has been selected, as well as this checkbox. And I could keep pressing into each one of the pages in order to include it in my article story. If I want to remove it, of course, just click on the page once and it'll be automatically removed. And you can see that with the removal of the blue border. another way as well to access this page from a pre-existing publication that you have that may not be your latest publication is, let me exit out here, is to go back into issue again. And then on the left-hand side, you'll see a icon for publications, press into that. And I'll scroll down to an older piece that I have here. So here we have the USPA pilot here, and there are two little widgets. So one to create an article story and one for a visual story. And each one of the publications should have these widgets for you to create a story directly from there. So I'm going to press into that as well. Great, and then from here, of course, again, selecting the pages I want to include in my article story. So I'm selecting these first 3 pages because I want to include the images in there. And I will specifically do a piece from pages 14, 15, 16, and we'll select pages 28 and 29 for the photos that they will provide me. So after selecting all those pages, go ahead and just going to click to my editor. And right now our system is aggregating all the assets. And if you can see on the right-hand side, the system actually automatically populated a article story for me. And so this is part of our auto detected stories feature. So if you're short on time, or maybe you don't have a certain aesthetic to how you want your article story presented, you could certainly use our system as a way to kind of shortcut having to build out the article story from scratch. And if I scroll through and I like the way it looks, I can always preview it here, which shows you what it looks like on a mobile device. And I could go ahead and publish that. But of course, I'm actually going to show you how to create one from scratch. So in order to do that, I will actually press into this trash can icon here. And this will actually remove all the segments to my article story piece. So the first thing we actually want to do from this stage here is to choose our hero image, which is also our cover image. So this is what people will see automatically when they, when they see your article sources will be the first image. So I always recommend that you choose an image that really represents what your article is about. So I will choose this image here, and you have the option between zooming in and out of your document and moving it from side to side. So I'll update it through here. You can see it populating here. So far, the system is populating this as a 1-minute read, and we're going to continue to edit it. Here as well, this piece here can be edited. So I might put USPA pilot here. And then we could kind of keep moving on to building out our article story piece. So I'm going to skip the photos for now. I will go back to them later on. After I have added in some text, but let's go to our original article story piece. So here is the title of the specific article, so The Pursuit of Happiness. And I can see that our system kind of congregated all the text together. So in order to break it up, there are some things that you can do here. So I would press into where I think that the text should split up. And we do have an icon here called split, which essentially will split this apart into 2 different paragraphs. Okay. So again, these 2 here, I want to split into 2 different paragraphs again. So I'm going to press split again, and it has been split apart. And I can see that all the text here is the same. So in order to change out the style, I'll press into this right-hand side icon here. And I'll make this into a headline. So now it pops up a little bit more compared to the regular text. And this text here is a quote. So I will actually make this into a quote as well. Okay. So after we do that, we're going to keep on going, and we'll add sections from our article piece to the right-hand side. So I'm going to keep adding in the different sections. And you can see here as well, the word anxiety and flying are actually part of 2 different paragraphs, but our system kind of detected it as one. So what I can do again is go ahead and split this up. And these 2 paragraphs here are supposed to be part of the same paragraph, So what I can do from there as well is our new feature function, which is merge up. And this essentially will combine the paragraphs together. So again, this should be its own paragraph. So I'll just go ahead and split it apart. If you want to remove the whole block of text, what you can do as well is go ahead and press our trash can icon there, and it'll remove it for you. And I will keep adding in the different paragraphs in here as well. So happiness in the plan. I'll highlight this and then change it to a subtitle, or sorry, paragraph again, headline, sorry. And then I will go into here and keep adding in the paragraph. And I will kind of quickly move through this. I accidentally merged those together, so let me add them back in again. I will highlight this again into a headline and merge this up together with the previous paragraph. So you can see how you can keep building out your article story piece from there. And one thing that you also want to know is this is starting to look very text heavy. So one thing I recommend to people who are building out their article stories is to keep in mind the switch between having enough visual assets in here and also getting your article story across. So again, I'm actually going to move back to my fills here. And so you'll see them populated on the right-hand side. Okay. And what you can do here as well is you could see that there is an option for you to add a credit and a caption. So I will put in Ben White here for the credit. And whenever you move around your photo, you can also see that the credit will move around with it. So if I move this photo up here, you can see that it is moving with here as well. And I'll add in another section here as well here. Okay. And I will keep adding in these different article pieces again. So making this into a headline and adding this in here. And here again, this is a quote that I want to include in my article story piece. I'm going to change this into a quote here. And you'll notice that the arrows that are displayed here aren't converted in our system. It actually ends up as a question mark. What you can do is just go ahead and remove that. And you can always edit any text that you have in your article stories. And this is great if you're looking to maybe incorporate any additional tidbits that weren't included in your original document. Okay, and as a final thing, I'll actually go ahead and add this final photo to my article story. So from there, it looks like I have generated something that is a 5-minute read. I'll go ahead and preview that in my document. So it'll show you where the article story was created from. And this is, again, a great way for you to drive organic reads to your document and who the author is. So this is by me. And I will go ahead and scroll through. I can see that one of the paragraphs here is a little bit longer than I want it to read on mobile. So I will go back in here again, and this is under happiness and paraglider. I'll go ahead and split this up. So you can see that it does split up in real time in this mobile view here. And I will want to move this photo up as well. So go ahead and use the arrow key to change where you want the fills to lie. So again, this paragraph here is a little bit longer than I want it to be. So I'll go ahead and split it up again. Let me put the T here, which I accidentally removed. There we go. So now that my article story is complete, you can see the cover page of the original document that it's from. I could either go ahead and save this and work on it on a later date or go ahead and publish it. So I'm actually going to publish this now. Okay, so you could scroll through this here. And this is how you would share out your article stories. So you could either copy this link here and directly share out where you would want to have your readers read it. So if you want to, you could put it on your Facebook page or on LinkedIn if you want as well. And this is the general vertical reading experience that they would have. We'll also recommend any other publications or article stories that you've created from the same document as well, and your readers can easily share these out on their own social media pages. Okay. In addition, we do have these widgets here for you to share out to the applicable social media sites that you have. And from there, I'll actually go ahead and move forward to creating a visual story. So you could create a visual story from directly pressing into this icon here, which will create a visual story directly from whatever assets you pulled from your article story, but two other ways of getting there as well. And let me go back to the home page is to go into visual stories here and press into create visual story, which will create a visual story from your latest publication. Of course, you can always go into publications on the left-hand side here and scroll down. And you can see this little widget that will allow you to create a visual story from any of your older publications. So I'll press into this widget here, for example. Okay. And from there, I'll go ahead and press into the pages I want to include my visual assets from. So I'll select these pages again. The experience is the same where you could unselect a page by pressing into it once. Okay. And I'll keep adding in any photos that I want included in here. Okay. So from there, after selecting all my visual assets, I'll go ahead and create my visual story. So while we're waiting here, I'll launch a poll to see where everyone is joining us today. Please tell me how you found out about our workshop and if you're interested in learning how to create or share out our article and visual stories. Okay. And so you can see here all the images that were imported from the pages that I've selected. And we do have a few template styles for you to choose from while you're creating your visual story. So here we'll have voice. So voice is a great way for you to kind of input any images that you have. Well, if you have a lot of images that you want to include in your visual story, this is a great template for that. Inspire is if you want to inspire maybe your readers to take a certain action. And you can see that we'll generally have more of a one text box per page type of format. And at the bottom of voice and inspire, you can also see that we will have a compilation page of all of the images included, and it'll show the issue stories icon. Another thing you can do is if you want to have this not included in there is to choose our engage style, which is very similar to an inspire style with the addition of being able to add in any image branding that you may have, but it won't include that issue stories logo page at the very end. Okay, so I will actually stick with our engage style, and I'll move over to the left-hand navigation panel and click into assets here. So this is a great way for you to kind of incorporate any details from your document that you may have had. And within media, all you want to do to change out your visual story photos is actually to just go ahead and drag and drop it in. So again, I'm going to select the image that I want. I'll click into it once. And once you see that little green icon there with the plus button, you know that it's ready for you to drop in. So again, doing that there. And if you do run out of pages, what you can do is go ahead and duplicate the pre-existing page above it. And you can do so by pressing into this little 2-page icon here. So that will essentially duplicate that same page. And I'll press into it again to make another page there. If you do want to remove a page, you could also press this icon here as well and then delete it. I'll keep adding in the same one. If you want as well, you can also move pages around. So maybe I want to move this photo to be the second page. I could go ahead and do so using these arrow keys. So I'll keep building out my visual story here. And a great thing you can do with an issue visual stories as well is you can import any new assets that you may have. So by pressing into this plus icon here, you can essentially go into your device and then upload any new images that you don't have included in your original document. And if you want, you can also edit the text here as well. So after editing the text, I can go ahead and move that around. I also move this bar button here as well. There we go. And if you want, you could also go ahead and highlight any text that you have and then change the font of it. So this is really a great way for you to go ahead and edit any sections of your document that you want and really repurpose any existing assets that you have. So if I wanted to change out this issue logo as well, I can go ahead and do so by going into any pages that I have here and then dropping in the photo in this circle icon here. So I'll do this for every single page. Great. Okay. And then from there, after I'm happy with how my visual story looks, I could go ahead and preview that. And since I am liking how the way it looks, I could go ahead and create the story from there. So right now, our system is actually going to aggregate all these assets together. I also recommend during this time to edit your description as well. Usually your description will pull from any text that you included in the pages that you selected. But it is something that your readers can see. So please note that you want to put any related descriptions in there. Okay, and I'll also hop into the Q&A to answer any questions. Allegra Bay asks, how can you change your username? So you cannot change your username in Issuu at this time. Maggie McCarthy asks, what support is offered for different plans? What measures the time to read, 1 minute read? So the time to read is going to depend on how much text you have. So if you have 100 words versus 200 words, or if you have 5 images versus 2 images, and it's something that's automatically configured and calculated by our backend system. For support that's offered on our different plans, if you have our basic starter or premium plan, you will be toggled through our normal support. If you have our optimum plan, we do offer premium and priority support for that. Okay, so Allegra Bay asked, I noticed I couldn't include the table of contents. The page was fuzzy and it added words and pictures. That was not a complete page. Yes, so if your table of contents was built out more in the form of an image versus basic text, it would be harder for you to build it out in our article story feature. So in the future, if you are looking to build out a table of contents in the article story feature, please make sure that everything in there will be text-based. Okay. So from there, I'm actually going to go ahead and it looks like the visual story has completed building. I'll go ahead and hit share. And from there, I could copy out this AMP link here. And one thing to note is our AMP link is actually trackable within our system. So if you want to measure how well your visual story is doing, you could certainly go ahead and view that under our statistics feature. Okay. And it's rendering through all the images that I've incorporated in here. You can see the description as well. Okay. And from there, you could either also share out directly to any of these social media platforms, or download your visual story as a full MP4, or download it as individual pages and then upload it directly onto your Instagram. And I do recommend using our AMP link, just because when you are sharing this out, it is, again, indexed. So a great way for you to drive organic reads. And if you do end up sharing to any of these social media platforms, it will only live in that silo, versus if you share out an AMP link, it will be available anywhere anyone is searching for on Google. Okay. So that concludes our workshop for today. Thank you again for joining me. And again, if you have any questions for us, or you would like to learn more about Issuu, go into our support here, and under our help center, you can find more articles about any single topic that you want to learn more about on Issuu. So if you want to educate yourself about statistics, go ahead and press into that. And we do have a lot of help pieces that will give you more context behind that. So I'll go into the Q&A for a few minutes just to answer any questions that you may have. So Ainem Nasir says, can you post the spring code, and when is it good still? So the Issuu Academy is actually has a code that you could use. So let me post it here in the chat for you. So it's Academy 50. So please use that as sign up to sign up for 50% off our premium annual plan for first year users. Okay, so Liger Bay asks, when I signed up, I had a different company. I need to change the name. Do I need to delete my present account and redo it? So what you can do is please contact billing@issuu.com for the specific request, and ask that you would like to transfer your username in Issuu, as that's not something that we can currently do, but we can certainly transfer your remaining subscription balance to a new account. Okay. So if we have no more questions anymore, I'll go ahead and stop our workshop. Thank you again for joining me, and please see me tomorrow to learn more about how to share out your content and how to track this within Issuu under our statistics feature. Thank you.